Welcome back to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching our channel for the first time, please take a second or two and subscribe to our channel and then click the notification bell. You can also like and share our videos. To all our subscribers and our supporters, allow me to thank you in a very special way because you are the reason why this channel is where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenyans are going through very tough moments under the oppressive hands of this Kenya Kwanza regime. We are being led by leaders who don't care about our predicaments. They don't care about our plights. Leaders who listen to the Western dictates. Leaders who have decided to sell our country to foreigners. They have increased punitive taxes on us and they don't care what is happening. In light of all this, one question that many are asking: is there anyone who will come to the rescue of the oppressed? Is there anyone? And if there is, when will it be? Because like the biblical Israelites, when they were being persecuted in the very hands of the cruel Egyptian government, they waited and waited for long, but finally Moses was sent to go and rescue them. Is there a Moses? And indeed, that answer is very simple. A Moses is in Azimio. And wherever the Azimio fraternity, wherever the leaders of Azimio are listening, let them understand that Kenyans have got hopes and faith in them, that they are the only team that will rescue them from this cruel government. The other question is when. Many want this government to be kicked out as soon as yesterday. But the most pragmatic season is 2027. I know for those who are really oppressed, the mention of 2027 is really pissing them off. But that sounds like the most credible time to kick out this government. But if there is something that the government of the day will not allow, is the unity of Azimio coalition leaders. They are working day and night to separate and disintegrate the Azimio. They want Martha Karua to pull away. They want Kalonzo to go on his own. They want Raila to remain on his own because they understand that when people are united, they have a strength. Their strength is in the unity, but divided they fall. Recently, there was some headline that was being propagated by some of the local media. And the Star specifically had reported that Karua was about to walk away. This is after Karua had disagreed with the Azimio about the report from the National Dialogue Committee. And Karua thought that now that the question or the agenda on high cost of living was not tackled properly, she was of the view that people must go to the streets and exercise their democratic rights of picketing and peaceful demonstration. But it seems that the other co-principals like Raila and Kalonzo had a different view. And so most experts thought that Karua was to walk away. And the Kenya Kwanza Brigade was very happy. The bloggers were all over the moon with joy, and some of them were reporting headlines like this. This is one of the Kenya Kwanza bloggers. He is a man who needs no introduction. Abuga Makori is a Kenya Kwanza apologist. This is what he said, that the opposition as currently constituted cannot beat President William Ruto. You can see Martha Karua is already out. Kalonzo Musyoka depends on Raila Odinga's support. Raila supporters want him to be on the ballot in 2027. They can't agree even on a report drafted by Kalonzo. A very weak team. So this is just but an example of the thoughts and feelings of the Kenya Kwanza team. They would really wish that Azimio disintegrates. But ladies and gentlemen, if there is one thing that Azimio must understand, is that for them to rescue the suffering Kenyans from the hands of the Kenya Kwanza regime, then number one, they must stay together. If Kalonzo will pull away or Karua goes her own way and Raila remains, let them not even go on the ballot in 2027 because it will be an exercise in futility. Martha Karua went on her Twitter handle, otherwise known as X, and she answered those who wish that Azimio should disintegrate by just 3 words. She took a screenshot of the Star report and she told them, you are wrong on this. She didn't want to mention many things. She just told them, you are wrong on this. And with that alone, she answered them. And I think to the chagrin and detriment of the Kenya Kwanza apologists and all the bloggers, she has maintained that she is in Azimio to stay. And Martha Karua has always said that the Kamwene will strengthen their team. Kalonzo must strengthen her side. And Raila Amolo Odinga, as you can see, is on a recruitment drive and he is strengthening the ODM so that when they join hands together, they will be a formidable force. William Ruto must meet a very strong and united Azimio. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been the discussion that is rocking the country. Will they stay? Will their unity stand the test of time? Because on the other side, the Kenya Kwanza team has given us their lineup. It is like a football match and you are facing the very members, the 12 members that you met during your last match. And they have said William Ruto is going to contest. People like Mudavadi, Wetangula have given him the green light that he should do a second term. Then maybe the battle will begin after his reinstatement or his exit. That is in 32. But for Azimio, people are still wondering what they are up to because they are playing their cards close to their chests. But don't you think it is very important that Azimio remains united? Because if they don't, I can assure you that Kenyans will suffer them all. Raila needs Kalonzo, and of course he needs the other leaders. Because if you take away the votes, about 2 to 3 million votes that Kalonzo controls, that will be a dent from Raila Amolo Odinga. So if they decide that Raila is going to contest, he must start with Kalonzo's votes. If Kalonzo will be fronted, Kalonzo needs Raila's support base to move on. Because if Raila says Kalonzo tosha, they might do what they did in 2002. They will vote for him to the man. So they need each other for them to move forward. The second reason why these people must stick together is the running mate equation. If Kalonzo moves away from Raila and Martha goes alone, then Raila will be forced to look for a running mate. And if the running mate cannot be Kalonzo or Martha Karua, then I can assure you that the force might not be as formidable as if Kalonzo and Martha Karua were together. If Raila pulls away and Kalonzo remains alone and Martha goes his own way, then it will mean that Raila might pull away with his leaders, people like Oparanya. And Kalonzo might be forced to start looking for other running mates. So they must stick together. If they don't stick together, again it will give this government an opportunity to rig elections. And then a narrative will be perpetuated that the opposition was disintegrated and that was the reason why they lost. In fact, after that election, it will be so easy for them to sponsor political analyst in the mainstream medias. You'll be going to NTV, Citizen, KBC, KTN, Radio 47, and the narrative will be one that had Azimio stuck together, they would have won, because you will be adding all those votes and you will realize that either they were much more than the government or they were closing. And that narrative shall be bought. It will be driven by their apologists and their bloggers. They should not give the government an opportunity to interfere with the election, because once they are disintegrated, that will be it. You all know that it has been found out that whenever the opposition is divided, it is gone. That is what happened in Nigeria in their last election. People like Abu Bakr and Bona Tinubu, the opposition could not stay together. They could not hold. They were defeated. Later, they were running to the courts. And you know, these powers always capture even the courts, the Supreme Court, the Apex Court, the bodies that handle election, and it will be gone. It happened in Zimbabwe during the reign of the late Zimbabwean president, Robert Mugabe. They were disintegrated. It happened during Moi, when we had Ford Kenya, Ford Asili, DP, Watt, all those. And Moi used to ride on that, because once you are disintegrated, it is easier for you to be defeated. And the government has got this pen chart. Always they sponsor some candidates. Like, I have a feeling that Mzee Mwaure, the bishop, who contested in the last election, was sponsored by William Ruto. I don't know whether Wajakoya was also fronted by the Azimio, but they can always sponsor people. So they must not give the government a chance, an opportunity to rig elections. Number 3, for them to show that they are not full of themselves, they are not full of selfish interest, they must stick together. Because if they separate, then it will be proved that these politicians are only concerned about their own affairs. Right now, they know that people are suffering, and they know that Kenyans have got faith in them. They must also stand together with the people. Otherwise, we will know that these people were never serious from the word go. Let me tell you, the moment these people decide to go their own way, it will be the end of the game for us. That would mean that for another 5 years, already we have 1 year down the line after elections. But we are talking about 2027 because people are oppressed. We really wish that 2027 come as early as possible. And these people must not show us that they are selfish. It must not be about themselves, it must be about us. And I'm happy that they have always proved this. They must also not show that they are cheap, because these people, the government is trying to compromise them every day. Like the members of the Jubilee, like the members of the Azimio that are from the Northeastern. Immediately William Ruto was sworn in, the first thing he did was to buy some of them. You know that people have gone to Statehouse and they are saying that they went there under the guise of development. Whatever they showcase as development is very pathetic. Like the Kisumu senator, Tom Ojenda, one day launched some Mabati structure. They were saying that was the development from William Ruto. So the Azimio fraternity must show that they are not cheap, that they can never be bought. And this is why I'm saying that they must be equal to the task, because Kenyans have faith in them. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if the move by Martha Karua is anything to go by, then it means Azimio understands their role, they understand the burden that they have been given, they understand that they have a long journey, and they must work together. And if they are listening, let them understand that Kenyans are pleading with them not to disintegrate, not to go their separate ways, but they must stick together. I know there will be challenges, there will be interest here and there. Let them disagree within Azimio, but ensure that they agree by the end of the day. And Kenyans are fully behind them, because people are tired. I'm even wondering how it will be in the next 5 years if this government is still with us. That is my take.